the series and From Software they've always been masters of subtlety. I think is what makes what's made those titles great, and I feel like they stopped being subtle with Dark Souls 2. Son, here's what's going down. We're gonna take the same motherfucking boss you just fought, and we're gonna give you two of them. And they're like, yeah, like they're all excited. It's double the trouble, double the fun. I'm like, no, it's not. This is ridiculous. And I was just so mad. I was like, what are you doing? I was like, they've been so original. Even when you sit down and you play Dark Souls, they're like, look, same thing, bunch of crazy folks. There's a dude. His name is Gwyn. He got lightning bolts. He's bad. He whooped the dog shit out of some dragons, and a whole bunch of cool dudes helped him out. And you're like, okay, this is tight. I like this. This is cool. And then you're like, and then everybody else over here, look, everybody's showing up and they're getting ringworm. And you're like, oh, that's terrible. You get this ringworm, and you're going to die. And you're going to look like a zombie. And you go crazy. We put you in a prison cell, and you're going to have to stay there till the damn world ends. And you're like, well, that's terrible. And they're like, guess what? There's a legend.
Right, the next time I play through Dark Souls, I don't know if I'm going to be able to take it seriously, just imagining everyone with ringworm now.
Everybody got ringworm. It's popping off. It's real serious. And you sit down, and they're like, guess what? But you know what? There's a legend. It's a legend of one of the dudes with ringworm. He's going to show up, and he's going to whoop the dog shit out of everybody. And we're going to fix this thing. And you're like, I might be that guy. There are blind cliffs out there in those woods. And you can absolutely run off and kill yourself and not even realize it. So I feel like they kind of...
Wait, hold on. There's cliffs there?
Yeah, there's cliffs out there. You will just run right off into your doom, and that's even worse.
Found one.
Yeah. It's as long as, in fact, you could, like, when we get done with this conversation, I urge you to go test it. When you walk into those woods,
I think I'd cry. Oh yeah, in regards to that well, like, the moment I saw that well, like, the entirety of all of my stat building was geared towards being able to jump down that thing and not die.
Just jump down holes.
That is how I built my character from the beginning, because I wanted down that well. I'm doing a terrible job defending Dark Souls 2 because I kind of agree with everything you're saying about it.
It's a really weird experience, and I think here's the most important part, is that even then, with so many of the glaring issues that Dark Souls 2 had, Dark Souls 2, and this is unfortunate that I'm saying this, but Dark Souls 2 is still a better game than many AAA titles that have come out. I mean, if we're just comparing, mistakes to mistakes, and bugs to bugs, Dark Souls 2 still has fewer issues than many other games, and I was like, I don't know what to do about that.
My main defense of Dark Souls 2 is, if you step back and pull it away from, like, the previous two games, like, in its own right, it's still a very good game. I mean, yeah, there's some issues with environmental navigation. It can get buggy at times, but there's still a lot of great environments. The gameplay is still very fun and challenging. You get a lot of great original bosses, even if they're not as good as previous entries, and they do clone previous bosses too often.
And your own fool butt would just walk right off a cliff and get rocked by ceaseless discharge or something ridiculous. Which, by the way, I just want to point out that is still the best boss name of all time. Because I'm like, I think you might have some kind of STD, and I think you need to go get checked.
I'm going for my favorite being the Penetrator from Demon Souls.
Oh my god! Like, actually,
he had to
I
have
still
been
have
named
video.
that on purpose.
Oh, and so I was like, yeah, man, what's up with all this sexual innuendo here? We got this guy named Ceaseless Discharge. We got this guy talking about penetrating people. I'm just saying, like, what are they trying to tell me? Am I gonna get screwed in a very uncomfortable place? Are they gonna put me in the back of a Volkswagen or something like that?
Do you remember Atlas's website on their forum? Just the tagline they had to advertise Demon Souls.
Yeah.
The whole, we release Demon Souls because we get off on the tears of our players. was the most beautiful advertisement I've ever seen.